Alrighty, we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we got two new decks today, or for this third round as we go into it. One of them we have not seen. One we have seen, but is a different variation of, which is going to be the Ruby Amethyst. So a little bit of a different Ruby Amethyst going into this one.
And we also have a Sapphire Steel list here from CJ, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, Sapphire Steel is one of the ones that I'm also very interested in to see. So, seeing how he plays this is going to be really great. His list looks very similar to the one that I personally run, minus he is also included a couple of the Tamatoas as well as the Bell. I personally do not have the Tamatoas, and I'm thinking about adding them in, but he has some very interesting additions as well as Audrey Ramirez, the engineer, which you barely ever see of. I believe her ability is to make items cost a little bit less or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look that up. But Winnie the Pooh having a think, giving him some ramp on turn 3 is a great card that we saw a lot of in set 2 and a lot less of into this set.
And then looking at Mark's list here, it looks like a very standard, what you'd come to say, maybe like somewhere around a stock list for set 3 Ruby Amethyst, that very mid-rangey, traditional kind of strategy. You know, you got your Rafikis, you got your a full set of 4 Queen of Hearts, you got Friends, Crab, 2 Maleficent Dragon, 3 Lady Tremaine, excuse me. And the one thing I do know is that this one does play 2 of the Maui's Fishhook.
Good.
In this list.
Very good. That gives the answer to anything evasive, which not in this matchup it doesn't have to worry about. But I think yeah, I mean, it's ink. If you need to ink it. But it's so powerful to have. Why not have it?
Yeah. And looks like he's running 2 here of the new Pinocchio talkative puppet. So
that is the bare minimum in my opinion. I think they're too good to only have one.
I have to agree. And the early game strategies, the combos, that little bit of tempo can really snowball depending on the matchup. But again, a more traditional Ruby Amethyst versus a Sapphire Steel. This is probably going to be another matchup that's going to go to time, I would have to guess.
And hopefully the Ruby Amethyst has a little bit of like a bit more speed under it just because of that bounce package. But I think that it's going to come down to, I think it's going to be, does he get to use that Fishbone Quill?
Yep.
And if he does, he's good. And he has a Fishbone Quill in his hand. He has opening a whole new world in his hand. He has a beast. He has I'm going to say it. That is a perfect starting hand from CJ for that deck. That is so good. How could you, what would you ask for a better hand?
Smee is the best 2-drop in the game. We got Hook, Forceful Duelist out already. So we got Popsicle. Mark is rocking the PPG top 8 play mat. Shout out. That's pretty awesome. And then we got Rafiki.
I don't necessarily love that he played the Popsicle. I like playing that 1-drop off the Fishbone Quill.
Yeah, I think. Or even just the Smee, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. He had the Smee Hook combo. I would have played that, but maybe he's playing around the Pinocchio. He doesn't want to lose the Smee to a Pinocchio drop, but
I think that's being a little too conservative with it. I mean, Smee's just so good, especially if you have Captain Hook in play. Like,
yeah, that's why I was like, man, you have the hand. So that way, now on the next turn, when you could have played the Popsicle off the Fishbone, because you're gonna play 3 for the Fishbone, you're gonna activate the Fishbone. You're gonna have 1 more ink available because it's ready right then and there. That the perfect time to play your Popsicle. But now he's gonna have just the ink well being fed. I don't see. I think it was misplay on that one.
Ink and the Beast here, and we see he drew the Cogsworth. I absolutely love the Cogsworth in this deck. It's phenomenal.
100%. You get 2-3 Cogsworth going against anything other than Ruby, and you're set.
Some people start cutting it, and I just don't think it's the right move. I think it's just a great card. We do just see like a standard Cusco here from Mark, and then it's just gonna play the Fishbone Quill and pass, ink and pass.
He could have all of that on the board and a Smee for 0 difference in the inkwell. That's the only thing I'll say anymore, and I won't say it again.
And then, I mean, I'm not too worried, though, because we do have... He's got Hiram there. Yeah. Now that he has a couple items in play, it's going to be off to the races here.
Now, do you Hiram on this next turn, or do you use the advantage of the Fishbone and you put the Cogsworth down early?
You know, it's hard to say, but I think I would probably play the Hiram here and just pop my Popsicle and just... That way I'm never letting myself run out, and then I play Cogsworth the next turn.
All right. So 2 Hirams.
And we're just going to bounce with the Fox here from Mark.
Inking the Hiram, and then going to play the Cogsworth out.
Now, I do think it's probably the right move to go a little bit more aggressive here, right? With the Amethyst deck, because Sapphire Steel's one of those decks where, again, the more you let the ramp build up, the harder it's going to get for you, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard because it doesn't look like Mark's deck really goes down the newer aggressive route. It's much more of the standard mid-range to control style. So, going to be a lot of back and forth here.
Yeah.
Cogsworth coming out. So he did end up doing what you were saying. We're just going to use that to get Cogsworth out early. That resist is just so good.
I feel like it's a bad day to be coughing, but I drank a soda wrong, I promise.
Please don't die on that.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
All right, so just deciding what he wants to do. I mean, the trade into Cogsworth, Hook seems,
it's not even a trade. So yeah,
or that, yeah,
that's
the
clear.
Do we say kill? Do we, the attack, the challenge into Hook? There we go. There we go.
The challenge, yes.
All right. So both players having a slow start to lore, but both players confident in what they're doing. They're going into this round 2-0.
Gonna see a lot of methodical thinking from these players in this matchup, especially. Gonna see a rabbit here. Draw some more cards for Mark.
The other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that the players are playing for more than just the promos today. They're also playing for a bunch of cards. First place is going to get a entire booster box, and the second through fourth place will also get some additional packs themselves.
Nice.
So definitely going to be a lot more on the line, and that's kind of the benefit of when you play at one of these larger events. Here at Versus with a lot more players than maybe your mom and pop tiny shop.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you're getting more than just that card. Yeah, it's a harder challenge getting there, but once you get to the top, you have much more glory and riches waiting you.
Now, I did notice CJ is playing Rise of the Titans, which is going to help him against Queen's Castle for sure.
Definitely.
It's the easiest, most direct response to any item or location in the game.
And great in the mirror, you know what I mean? Because if you can take out that Fishbone Quill, you have your Benjas, and you have the ability to take it out with more than just that. That's huge.
It's just going to, again, slow roll it here. Both players being very methodical, very careful.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. You were 100% correct. This game will probably be going to time.
Yeah, it's a lot to.
I know everybody in the chat has been begging for us to do another pack battle from the last time we were here. We haven't done our pack battle yet, and I know everyone's on pins and needles, so hopefully we get to do it at some point.
Well, I am going to win this time. I did not win last time.
We'll see about that. Okay. That's what you said last time. So now we got a little bit more action. I think that was the friends on the other side with his rabbit. His sleeves are very bright. It's such good contrast.
I was actually just about to comment. That's so funny. I was actually just about to comment that these sleeves are awesome.
Yeah,
it's like Nickelodeon slime green.
Ooh, Queen's Castle turn 4. Love that.
Again, though, he has the Rise of the Titans in hand.
Or not. I don't know why I just said turn. I don't think it's turn 4. I think it might be turn 5. I think I'm a little off on my turns.
He's gonna move it over there, and I think if you're CJ, you probably play the Rise of the Titan here, unless he inked it.
Both players keeping Mark rather keeping his cards really close to his chest, literally.
Quite literally, yes. I think CJ still does have it though.
So there's that Audrey Ramirez. Ooh. You're going to have Cogsworth grab your swords, getting rid of the fox.
And putting a lot of damage on that rabbit.
Yep. Really just stopping the card draw.
Okay, he must have inked the Rise of the Titans when I wasn't looking, because he doesn't have it in hand anymore. He must have Fishbone Quilled it or something similar.
Yep.
He's gonna Fishbone Quill away something, and then he's gonna Hiram the Fishbone Quill to draw 2 more.
Yep. So now he's got 2 Sad Boy Beasts. He's gonna play 1.
That's definitely a good card here. I'm curious, how much ink does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like you read my mind. 5, 6. So he's still 4 away. But if he can get the bell out, he can start inking twice a turn, which is great.
So CJ has the Tamatoa, has the bell, has the dime. He has all those same tools that we saw John Lee use to win. Just has that steel package to back him up now. So we know how strong it can be. That Queen's Castle, is as tough as that is, when you have Cogsworth and the Beast on the field, you have a lot of power sitting there. You just you can almost. Is there anything that you could use to put damage on Beast yourself in this meta right now?
No, I'm trying to think.
Baboom.
And then but I mean, again, Mark's running Be Prepared, so I mean, Be Prepared doesn't really care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just play it, boom, everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen any from Mark yet, so but that Maui's gonna put in work, take care of that Cogsworth. Because that's the thing, that resist adds up, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's so hard to get rid of some of those cards once you get that established.
I remember explaining Cinderella Stout-Hearted to somebody, and I was like, "Yeah, it has a resist of 2," and they're like, "Oh, so pretty much it has like a 7 willpower," and I was like, "Oh no,
Yeah,
much bigger."
yeah, much better than that.
All right, gonna move to Maui. Jinx.
I'd like to move to Maui.
I mean, that would be pretty nice. Deal. If only it was that easy. One ink.
I'm in.
All right. So Rabbit getting that quest off. So finally, both players having a little bit of lore on the board, but we are a little over 10 minutes into this game, so we see both players have like that slow roll approach.
Yep.
I think both of them are hoping to 2-0 their opponent right now.
As CJ gets closer and closer to 10 ink, it's going to get a little bit more explosive. We got that Bell Strange but Special in hand. Fishbone Quill's going to start doing some work as well. We're going to get closer and closer. Sad Boy Beast drawing us 2 cards a turn is huge.
There goes
to
Audrey.
fuel all this.
Ooh.
And Big Tink's going to come out and kill the rabbit, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep. It's going to be a 3 on Maui. So, Sad Boy Beast came out last turn. He could potentially trade with the Maui, right?
Mm-hmm. So he's going to quest with the harem. Is he going to get rid of the Fishbone Quill is the question.
I think he will. I think he's gotten his use out of it.
Now, he does not play Tamatoa, correct?
I believe he does. I think he has 2.
Yes, he has 2. So, I mean...
He can get it back.
He can get it back.
Right. So he is going to get rid of it, drawing the 2 cards. That was Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh having a think. I love to see it. I love Winnie the Pooh so much.
You can grab your sword. I was just going to say, you can grab your swords and not have to trade with the Maui. That's huge. That's huge.
And he has Big Tink next turn to take care of the castle. He's not going to be drawing anything off of that now. I can't tell how many cards Mark has in hand, but
I think Mark only wants Mark to know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great I always like show my hand to my opponent by accident. So I mean, it's a good habit to get into.
It's hard playing with my daughter sometimes because like she'll like just like have her cards out and I'm like, I'm trying not to know you have a Be Prepared in your hand, but you're making it really hard not to know you have a Be Prepared in your hand. All right, so we got ink going down the inkwell and the whole pile coming down for a Be Prepared. I mean, I feel like we just spoke that into existence. We had no clue that he had in his hand, but
yeah, I wonder if TJ was prepared for that.
Yeah, it seems like he should have been.
Yeah.
All right, how much is that in the old inkwell? That was quite a lot, is what I saw.
Well, we can get the ramp up Winnie the Pooh,
So
or you can just ink it
and put both cards on the table.
There you go. That's probably the best. It's like, yeah, you're just gonna
hoping for.
You're threatening 7 lower turn, right? So you're automatically putting your opponent on a 3-turn clock.
But if he has another Be Prepared, that's rough.
Mark's going to 8 off this Queen's Castle. This Queen's Castle's putting in lore.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If he has another Be Prepared, that you definitely play it. Gonna go ahead and ink in a visible card. No clue. And Be Prepared.
Oh, he got
my
the
God.
second Be Prepared.
Oh, this DJ's worst nightmare.
Are you prepared?
He fully committed and got burned. Oh, and I hear him with nothing to pop. Yeah. Oh, that's so rough, dude. Oh man, I gotta stop speaking all these negative things into existence. I didn't even
And
mean
like
to do
again,
that.
it's situations like this where locations are putting in work. I mean,
Yeah.
Mark is passively getting 2 lore every turn. Uh,
Whereas
it's
before he'd still be at 2
yeah,
and doing
this
all
would be
this
a
last
complete
season.
standstill.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, and that's why you can see things like players playing 1 or 2 spell books in their lists. Why they're going to throw in those extra locations, because when these games go long and you're in a stalemate situation, that's what can win you the game.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's stuff like this that makes me go, I don't know about blue steel.
Yeah.
That red is such a hard
And
counter.
CJ just scoops.
Wow.
Just gonna scoop. I mean,
That's
you're in
somebody
top
that
deck
you know.
mode.
Yeah, you know your deck, and you know that like that's too far gone.
Yeah, I mean, once you have your opponent has 5+ lore a turn, and he's drawing 2, 3 cards a turn, and you have nothing. That's a good. So great to Mark. I mean, the double be prepared coming in clutch there at the end, saving it right till the end. Um, Again, he played very conservatively, very carefully in the beginning, and I think that ended up working out in his favor.
Those cards are going every direction. There's some going up and some going down. Oh, my OCD is exploding inside.
I don't think that's allowed to. The cards will also be facing the same.
Yeah, we can maybe
Alright, I'm gonna go fix it.
yeah we're gonna have our
So
staff step in, just make sure all the cards are facing
yeah,
that
so
way.
you can't
Uh,
have that technically because if for whatever reason, if those cards are potentially, I know I'm not saying he did this. I'm just saying this is why. If those cards are potentially marked for any reason as the upside down ones are this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the right side ones are this, they won't change
Yeah.
that direction.
And he's gonna quickly fix it. It's very
Yeah.
clearly unintentional.
Again,
But
no way he did that. We saw the ink was going one way. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
say anything like that. I'm just putting it out there.
yeah, that's why. But it is a good note. Like that is a good thing to know if you're playing in a tournament and you notice your opponent's cards aren't all facing the same way.
Yeah.
You can kindly ask them, just quickly fix that. Also, it makes your sleeves break less quickly because that's a
Yes.
great way to split a sleeve or something like that when you're trying to shuffle and they're all in different directions.
And if on the opposite side of the fence you want to play for the side of evil, then you can use that to your advantage and get a disqualification
Pl-
from your teammate or from your opponent if you really want to be a bad person.
Please don't
Don't do that.
please
Just
don't
be
do that.
nice. This is a good game with good people. Let's just continue it. I will say a couple tournaments ago, I did see somebody threaten to DQ somebody because they had translucent sleeves, and I thought that was pretty low.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so definitely don't do that. But it's still stuff like this where, you know, every little thing, man, you got to be wary of it. You
I
gotta
mean,
be
there's a lot on the
careful.
line today. I mean, we got
Yeah.
a booster box and a really expensive promo
Those
card. and
promo
stuff.
cards are
So-
not cheap, and they will not be cheap. They are going to be very expensive and hard to get and
Yeah.
very sought after. And yes, there will be a lot of them, but you got to remember, there was a lot of those D23 cards that went out, and
Yeah.
they are hotcakes right now.
For sure. So a lot of pressure on these players, but they're playing to keep their cool. Phenomenal gameplay there from Mark. Just the double be prepared. Just like you just can't
So
recover,
brutal.
man.
That
You
was
can't
so
recover.
brutal. That's why I was like, if he has it, it's the best play
Again,
by far.
Inking the Rise of the Titans, potentially very relevant. That Queen's Castle. You
Oh,
want
I
like,
know.
it's
Did he not think his opponent was running them? I mean, you know if you're running against purple, but then again, these players don't necessarily know who they're going against.
And
right
also-
away, so
if your opponent doesn't have the Queen's Castle in hand, even if you know they're running it. I mean, holding on to a dead card for a what if. I mean,
Yeah.
you need ink, right?
That's
so
very
you're trying to
true.
ramp in Sapphire, so it's a hard call to make. But yeah, definitely relevant. Just an immediate response to something like that, especially for a slower deck like Sapphire. To have that answer to just immediately take it out is just so nice. He's only playing 2, but because again, it makes sense with the shift. But again, people forget Rise of the Titans can remove items,
yeah.
which I think is one of the most relevant pieces of text on that card, and why I think it still can very comfortably be three or four of in most decks. So,
I think it's going to be cards that kind of phase out other cards. I think that Be Prepared, as great as it is, I think eventually we may get a card that's Be Prepared plus locations. And I think that we get something like that, then Be Prepared is gone. It's no longer relevant unless it's in a different color. Then it still becomes, pretty important.
if they do that in red, then that's just crazy.
It's brutal. It's brutal. They are the removal class of the removal color or ink, but I would love to see I'd like to see like a set that's called like spilled ink or something, and it lets you go from like some of the ruby stuff goes to blue and some of the blue stuff goes to
Ooh,
amber.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
I'd like to see those kinds of variations further on in the sets.
Nice. Looks like players are finally done getting set up here. We're gonna jump into game number 2 here. Captain Hook with a Smee in hand. I mean, that's be prepared. I'm sorry.
Almost perfect.
Whole new world.
Definitely needs that fishbone, which I'm
Sure.
assuming he's going to. If he didn't play Shmi last time, maybe he'll be like, "Oh, that was my mistake. I could have played Smee and won the whole game." Maybe there was the turn to Smee that really set him back.
Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, an extremely strong start here from CJ. Gonna simply just play a baby Minnie Mouse here on Mark's side. Pass the turn.
Ooh, inking that for sure. And Smee.
Yeah, we all love the Smee. Let's go.
So definitely think Smee. You were asking me earlier what mine were. Smee is in there.
Yeah,
Top
Smee.
card for sure.
I would go as far as say Smee's the best 2-drop in the game.
Yep. He's so good.
He's just a phenomenal stat line. For not that much downside.
Quest for 2 comes down on 2. The one downside is you get the 1 damage every time he's exerted without a captain, but you can fix that with a captain, with Cogsworth, with a heal, Rapunzel. I mean,
and sometimes the damage isn't even necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you're playing like Steel Song, just throw down a Rapunzel.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, get that extra. It's almost like a benefit.
All right, so you're gonna get a snake, a very solid turn 2 play here, bouncing the Minnie Mouse potentially to be inked or just simply played down again next turn. Gonna quest with the Smee. Not going to take any damage because he does have that Captain Hook in the background, who's a great counter to any kind of challenge against me, unless they want to just straight up trade with the snake here.
Oh, definitely a little bit of a rough hand right there. He doesn't have the Fishbone Quill, and so he's sitting on a lot of uninkables.
Yeah.
He wants to you probably want a Fishbone Quill, ink at least one of those grab your swords. Having 2 is cool, but having 2 this early, not so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, without the fishbone, it's uninkable. So it feels bad to have the double grab your sword in your hand, but you do, at the end of the day, at least have the whole new world in hand.
Especially because he only has 3 grabber swords in his whole deck. So I mean, like, that makes it even rougher.
Though I do think trading there with the Smee with the snake is 100% the right move
Definitely.
for Mark. Gonna be curious to see what he plays down here. Again, we're playing blind with his hand as well, so
we're on CJ's side.
So Mark's got the sleeve game
that
now.
Camera is though, man. He's like perfect. I can see every card in his hand. Like CJ's killing it. I'm almost worried Mark can see his hand.
That's me. That's me when I'm playing. It's like, hey, look at my hand. What do you think I should play?
All right, now as Mark makes a choice on what he wants to ink this turn, I'm trying to think about since I can only see CJ's hand, I'm trying to think about what CJ is going to do next turn. He's whatever he grabs, he has to ink. And
hard casting friends is not a great situation here.
So I'm assuming he doesn't have any ink.
Not a bad card to play it. Oh, man.
Oh, and then a pass. He doesn't have any
That
ink.
is not.
Oh my god. Or he has something he just doesn't want to ink, which it must be super important to his strategy.
3, that must be.
Yeah. What could it be?
I think it's much more likely he just doesn't have much. Oh, but the pass from CJ as well. I mean, CJ's probably just trying to work up to.
I think he just inked whatever he had and he had to pass, right? But why not? If you're CJ, why not put Captain Hook? Why not exert him?
I'm not sure why he didn't quest. Maybe just in case.
Yeah.
But I think you probably do quest there. That's right. It's probably a small misplay, but probably just trying to work your way up to Sad Boy Beast in this situation, right?
And then the Pinocchio exerts him anyway. And then the Queen comes down. So you forced him to use an extra card. So at least there's something the benefit to that because the Queen was in hand. But I definitely think that like that Pinocchio. Oh, don't do it. He has to. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he has to ink that there. I mean, you need that beast in play. You need to start drawing those cards because like 2 grab your sword and Whole New World's not doing it for you.
You just hope you hope Mark goes wide with the right cards right here, so your grab the sword is just that more effective.
And again, this is the risk you run when you play Sapphire Steel, right? A lot of Sapphire Steel lists play a lot of uninkables because you're reliant on Fishbone Quill. But if you don't hit that Fishbone Quill, sometimes you're just like really scrambling just to get something in the inkwell.
Yep, that's my biggest complaint with that deck. It's the reason why I'm so on the fence about it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and ink an unknown card. And so we're going to use 2, 4, 8. Ooh, 2 is a good number. CJ wants to see 2s and 1s.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Oh, it's a bounce. It's got to be, right? It's going to be a Mim.
think it's
Yeah.
probably got to be a snake, right?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Then you're gonna get your Pinocchio back. Oh, and he's gonna play the Pinocchio. Do
He's
some
gonna
damage
it
on
to-
that beast.
And then, I mean, you have a 7-power beast, but I mean, your opponent's not drawing cards no more.
Yep. Yep.
Unless he can take it out this turn.
No. How? What would he be able to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
no, he
the
doesn't have it.
Mim doesn't have rush.
Yep.
He was. Oh. I wonder if he knew that. If he was just like thinking it was the fox, you know.
I mean, I still think it's absolutely worth it.
for sure. Oh
to-
no, it's
to-
yeah.
to-
The
to
play
stop the
still is
double draw.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's moments like that where I wonder if people do again. I'm not saying this person did this at all, but just wondering like, do people do that on purpose and hope they don't get caught, or do they really not remember in the moment because you're in the heat of the battle and
I
it's
would
a
like
high
to
stakes
think-
thing?
I'd like
I
to
know
think
I make those
people,
mistakes sometimes where I'm like, oh my god, like, I can't believe
yeah.
I did that.
No, yeah, people definitely, I think, have good intentions. I just
Yeah.
think it's easy to. There's so much calculation that has to go on. It's easy
100%.
to miss a number and miscount. But we are going to see a whole new world here. I think that is what you want to see from CJ.
Yeah.
Just you need to get something new in your hand. Yeah, it sucks that you lost to grab your sword, but like that's what you got to do.
CJ's playing Hades. I didn't see that earlier. A lot of
Yeah.
people cut him early.
But he's just straight removal, man.
So
like he's
good.
just straight removal. It's one of the most consistent pieces that you can get.
Oh, he got rid of some fire.
Yeah, you
Got
got
rid of Be Prepared, a Maui, a Queen, and a Lady Tremaine.
that was a good one for. So it wasn't that Mark didn't have anything. It was like you were saying, like he just had a lot of really high cost
He didn't wanna
things in his
use.
hand too early, and that's a shame. We're gonna see a Cogsworth though. That's gonna be a good card to have in this situation. Now a lot of people start cutting Hook from their
I
field
know.
lists. So it's gonna be curious. We've seen multiple players play him today.
I think he's so good, especially with the Smee.
Yeah, it's just
It's tough to say what is the better play for sure in that situation because the Gaston I think is super super good, but I think he might be wanting to. He might be worried about getting that removed and is wanting to use that with the Lucky Dime because if I was me, I'd want the Lucky Dime and the Gaston to go off. It's very close, if not back to back.
I'm wondering also if he's trying to bait out something like a Medusa or a Tremaine so that
Yeah.
he can also, because he also has Hades in hand still.
There's that Medusa. Can't do Cogsworth. He has Ward.
Probably gonna do Beast. I would assume. Or
Oh, he does. I don't even know if he wants to do. He does. Oh, he didn't know about the
the
Ward.
Ward.
Ah, that's why
Whoa.
Cogsworth is so good.
Ward's still gonna put in work. I mean, it's been good since Cusco in step 1. I mean, Ward is a powerful ability.
Definitely. So good. That's one of the reasons why Cogsworth is so freaking fantastic against Ruby Steel. Or Ruby Amethyst.
Yeah, he's still playing it. He's just gonna take out the Beast.
Yeah, he didn't not play it. He did play it. So he took out the Beast instead. And that's one of those things where I think there isn't like a necessarily super clear define on like if you like still have like some like I'm not sure if it says on there if you still have your hand on the card, does that count, or if you
I think
expose the
regardless,
card.
So from other card games, you lay it, you play it type deal,
Yeah.
and then it comes down to both of the players to determine, hey, can I take this back? If they say yes, then
Yes,
fully in your right to do so.
if CJ says it's okay, he can take it back.
I know
but-
that Lorcana specifically does state though on certain things like lore, like passive lore, like let's say for the Queen's Castle, if you don't get that Queen's Castle draw or whatever off there, if the other opponent says no, you can draw it, and both people agree to it, and the judge finds out about it, both people get the DQ. So they're a tiny bit different on some of how they apply it. So I just don't know exactly how, like, because I think I agree the late you play it, but what counts is if you put it all the way down, if you have it half down, if you're almost putting it down. Because I think a lot of players, at least I know I do, I'll twist my ink and go, I'm gonna play, and then kind of hold it for a
And that's
second.
why just being really clear with your decisions in
Yeah.
a tournament setting like this is so important. But
For sure.
And regardless, he did take his hand off of it, so we are going to see that Medusa come down.
For sure.
And now on CJ's turn, we're going to see Gaston hit the table. I do think that is a good decision here. Looks like he has some options in hand. He has another whole new world too, which is it could be relevant.
I think that dime helps him out a lot right now for sure. I think having that Cogsworth is great because it limits the options coming out of Mark right now. But at the same time, I'm just looking at the time. There's 20 minutes left. There's still much of this game left. I get where I just that's gonna be tough. These are both grindy decks.
Yep. Cogsworth is also putting in so much work with Captain Hook. Captain Hook is great with Cogsworth on the, and it's all irrelevant because he's going to be prepared.
Oh,
but, I mean, that's probably one of the best cards he could have played in that situation.
Definitely, so. That really sucks for CJ. It's an uphill battle now. Ooh, not a fantastic hand either.
Yeah, I mean, that Lucky Dime is not doing anything for you now.
Playing Audrey Ramirez.
We're seeing that card a little bit more. It's definitely not played very often, but we are seeing this more and more as item support gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah. Now, because I know before there was the Bell Engineer, who when you quest with her, allows you to pay one less for an item. This one is whenever this character quests, ready one of your items. Now, that is huge for the Lucky Dime.
Exactly. I was going to say, Lucky Dime plus Audrey is it's a really hard combo, right? Like, she costs 5, Lucky Dime costs 7. You have to have something else that has the lore in the first place. But if you can get it off, you can win the game 1. It's an OTK
And not
combo.
to mention, I mean, look at the stat line on Audrey Ramirez. 2/5, 2 quests. That's the Cogsworth stat line without the resist.
And with ward.
It has the ward. I mean, you can put her on the table and just let her sit there for a minute until you get that Lucky Dime play off. And then with the right combo on the field, and he has it in hand to be decent. It was about to pop off, though.
Yeah.
He was ready to go.
You really kind of have to. I think she's a great card, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of her.
Real.
I just think the higher cost, you really do have to commit to that slower, grindier ramp game. But if you're in it, she's great.
She could still sing Whole New World. She could be your turn 5 play.
True.
You know what I mean? I think she's great. I think that's a sleeper card.
All right, we got Rafiki out now from Mark. Again, any major threat, CJ has Hades, right?
Yes.
But we have to also consider if Mark has a bunch of answers, right? If they go back and forth, like he has Hades, he goes Tremaine, etc., etc. Who is going to end up on top here once all the exchanges happen? It's going to be tough to say.
You definitely want to, at this point, you want to get the Hades down. I know it's not great to get rid of one of those 2 characters, but at least it allows you to sing the Whole New World. Otherwise, you're just postponing because you're gonna play it, right?
Gonna play the Lucky Dime.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if he's gonna try to use Audrey plus Lucky Dime to just kind of like cheat out a win here early. I don't know. Maybe it's just I have nothing but just get 2 lore off of it. Interesting.
Weird. So just getting the 2 lore, not gonna choose to quest with her, or because she just came down. No, she didn't. Just the line just came down. So not gonna choose to quest with her yet. She might sing Long Came Zeus though.
But you gotta think, like, even with just Audrey, like that's a 6 lore swing, right?
Yeah.
So
yep.
Something to be said.
There we go. Getting rid of the crab. So now he has to worry about Rafiki. Rafiki can't do it on his own unless he has another crab in hand. So allows him to get next turn. It looks like he's gonna be able to, I'd assume, just sing Whole New World with Audrey. Or
it's really gonna depend. If there's something relevant, Hades 100% could come down.
What I thought? How many? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah. I thought he had less ink. That's one of those advantages of putting your ink in a pile like that. Is it really?
No, yeah. And Maui.
That sucks.
Maui puts in work, man. That 6 power rush is no joke.
So Hades is a fair enough trade with Maui, I feel like, or not trade, but like putting him down is a good enough use of his ability for sure. And then you can still have enough to tap the dime.
Quest with Rafiki here. And we got Snake to bounce Rafiki.
I think he didn't bounce the Maui.
I just don't see a path forward for CJ here with only
looking
15
rough.
minutes on the clock. But
at this point, you want to draw, not lose.
CJ's gonna try to force the draw. I think is his best course of action.
That's right, because he didn't even have to. Dang, he could make this game go to time and draw. I didn't even think about it like that.
I think that's the right move. It's just
I've
Hades
done
the way
that.
of the Maui. Yeah. You can still lucky dime for 2 lore here.
Yep. Goes into the inkwell.
It could,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Now here's a question: if CJ does the right thing there, but do you have to? Do you just
Yes,
if you're-
I think it's mandatory.
okay?
It's a mandatory trigger.
Because I definitely think that again, I think that some at locals, I know I've seen some people where I'll watch other games while I'm playing my game, and I'll see them do some stuff where I'm like, that's not how that's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, we're just gonna see this back and forth removal, and I think
The removal on Ruby is better.
I mean,
What illegal game action did he do?
I think it was just the discard. I think it's just a misunderstanding. Yeah, I mean,
I definitely feel like Mark is he's reading he's reading the text on a lot of these cards that we know we see a lot of, so we kind of think that they're just commonplace. But he might be newer at the game and trying to figure out what some of these cards do. So I mean, if he is, I mean, he's killing it. But I don't know. He's definitely not playing like he's brand new on the game. He just maybe a little bit nervous. I think that being in a setting that this big is definitely a lot more than most people are used to at their locals. So
yeah. I mean, if you're ever in a feature match area, like it's a lot of lights, a lot of cameras. It's a lot. It's a lot.
that's the other thing. Yeah, you guys can't see it on the stream, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of things out there making everybody look as pretty as they do right now.
So you can grab a fishbone quill here. Gaston. I mean, okay, so if you're CJ here, like I don't even like what is your goal, right? You know,
You just gotta try to. I mean, you don't want to lose. You don't want to get an L.
so like
you just try
with
to draw.
that thought process in mind, like you know, I have less than 10 minutes on the clock, or less than 15 minutes on the clock. I'm probably not going to be able to get out of game 3. I need to figure out how to win this game so that I can draw it. What do you think your strategy moving forward with this is?
I mean, he's kind of got it going right now, where that lucky dime is playing a huge part. I think if that's me, I'm praying for another lucky dime. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh God, the Pinocchio coming down, taking away his Gaston. I mean, this is the problem with Ruby Amethyst. As always, is it just has all the answers. It just answer.
And that's the thing. Like, there's so many good cards in purple and red now that it's like really hard to determine which ones you want to play. Like, we're seeing people play 3 Be Prepared. You know, 1 or 2 Lady Tremaines. I mean, it's just you have to start cutting. Like, it's there's so many answers. You have to figure out what is worthwhile and kind of determine, am I gonna play something like a Prince Eric, or am I gonna play, you know, Lady Tremaine or Madame Medusa?
Yeah.
You kind of have to metagame it that way, which removal is best, but it's a good problem to have when you have too many good cards to play.
100%. 100%. That just shows the quality of the game and quality of the card design.
So I see a Benja in hand. That's
grab your swords. Love that combo. 3 to everything means the whole board dies.
Yeah.
So the only thing left now is that Queen's Castle, which is a problem, but not something that we can't deal with when we have the hand that he has right now.
Especially when you get Tink in hand, like or a Tink on the board, like that's automatically over half the damage you need to dealt with.
Ooh, and there's the answer for Queen's Castle for next turn. He still gets to gain lore because of the lucky dime. CJ doing it, man. He's just putting the brakes on Mark, and that's the Steel Sapphire is such a good deck. It's not that it doesn't have its own answers. It's just you have to pilot it the right way, and CJ's doing a really really good job of doing that. People that are cutting the grab your swords, I think that play right there should tell you, like, don't do that. You gotta keep at least a couple in. The Tinkerbell grab your swords is so good.
For sure. Tinkerbell has been good since set 1, and it's going to continue to be good. I mean, just going wide in these formats is extremely important.
For sure.
That's like kind of Steel's biggest problem, right? Is if you have a bunch of big willpower threats, it's really hard for Steel to deal with that.
Yeah.
So you really have to prioritize things like Big Tink, like Grab Your Sword, that can at least give you some advantage to try to stop the threat early.
Yeah. Ooh.
Crab, again.
It doesn't help you if nothing's exerted, though. I don't think he has that Pinocchio anymore, right? I think it just went away. He does have another Pinocchio. I don't think he's used this time.
So we got Hook. I'm wondering, Yep, that was my question. Is he playing things like Crab without a target so that he can just draw more cards off of Queen's Castle?
Mm.
But again, I don't think Queen's Castle's hanging around.
Mm-mm.
But it's tough from CJ's perspective, right? Because you have to consider this is the thing that locations does. Yes, we can take out Queen's Castle next turn without taking any damage. But now my characters are exerted and you still have a board presence. It's,
Oh, that's a good topic.
that was well,
wow.
that is why I love this card. This is one
Yeah.
of the most underrated cards, and it kind of like became more popular and it's starting to die down again. No, dude, this
Rise of the
card
Titans
is
is so
great.
good. It is so good.
It is so good.
It's so relevant in so many different matchups, but like that's what you want it to do right there. You want it to take out a location. It's so hard to do, and that does it in one fell swoop. Oh,
And he only
so
plays
good.
two, and he inks the other one, so like that's kind of like the perfect
Yeah.
use of that card. So
Man,
right
that
when he
was
needed
great.
it.
So now he's gonna lose that Tinkerbell, but
Man,
Excuse
it's a tough situation here for Mark because
ooh, maybe not.
that is a really good really good card. I mean, like, what do you do here? Like, CJ's kind of got this on lock.
I
But
know.
again, it's only game 2 though, so I don't know if it's
You're forcing the draw, which I mean, in this situation, that's
So,
a win for
if
CJ.
CJ
Kind of.
if Mark doesn't have an answer here, I mean, but one, be prepared, and we're back to square one, right? So if Mark doesn't have an answer here, does CJ even have a chance in game 3 with a Sapphire Steel list? Is the question. I mean,
Not at
You're just
winning one,
focusing on the-
not
you're
at
just
closing one
focusing on
out
the
early
goal, yeah.
enough. There's just not enough tools for quick lore gain in that deck. It's too slow. Both of them are really, but Mark has much more of an advantage going into a game 3 than CJ does. Mark really trying to make sure every move counts right now. If he can win this game, that's the only way he's getting a win on this ticket for this round. So Crab looking like he's going to, I think, Quest.
I mean, we say that until watch it goes to CJ wins this, goes to game 3, and then Ruby Amethyst can go full aggro.
I hope so.
If it needs to.
I hope so. I just haven't seen Mark have the full aggro package yet.
Yeah, it does. It definitely plays a more traditional control list. So gonna bounce the Crab here. That is relevant.
Yeah.
Gonna be able to one shot the Tinkerbell now with something like Queen, or just rush in with your own Fox.
Because it had the resist, he had to do
Yep.
the Fox, or else it would have been a twofer.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got the Cogsworth in
Yep.
play. So yeah, I would have done my math wrong if I was playing the game. So.
Math is tough. So we got 3 more coming down for the Crab again. What else we got left? 2, 3 ink, 4 ink. Ooh, man, he's got a lot in the inkwell. Four ink left.
Gonna see what he plays here.
I'm trying to see what his hand is. It's just so hard. He's keeping it so close. Something to bounce. I'm assuming he just quested with the Queen to the Mim. So he's gonna Mim and then put the Queen back on the field.
Oh no, he's gonna hook.
Oh, puts her evasive. Interesting. Okay. Inking, using 3. Gonna play
Another crab.
another crab.
Just an army of crabs.
Firepower. All right. Mark's still in it for sure.
Yeah, this is it turned out to be a pretty close game. I mean, if Mark can find a path forward, he's already at 10 lore. He's questing for 3 next turn. It's gonna be tough.
He just used the dime on the beast that he just put out. So
Going
and
to 10. So we're tied.
I think. Oh man. So CJ's goal here is probably to get enough on the board to win next turn without exerting this turn.
Now, if you're dupe, yeah, I think. So let's see. I'm trying to count. 2, 4, 6, 8.
He has 10. He has lethal on board right now without exerting at all, and he still has the ability to exert. I was gonna say there's no way he gets rid of the lucky dime. All right, so he's questing with 2 to kind of.
I think that's smart. You just quest with everything that you can this turn, and then you're still threatening lethal.
Yep.
Except he's not going to do it with the Cogsworth for obvious reasons. Just
Yeah.
That ward plus resist is just too powerful.
Makes that Queen not be able to take out that hook.
CJ threatening lethal next turn. Does Mark have an answer. Be prepared, perhaps, would be clutch.
Oh.
You quest go to 17, play be prepared. Have something else. Say go.
Yeah, if you have be prepared, I mean, there's no other choice. The board's too huge. He does not. He wouldn't be attacking. That sucks.
But yes, I don't know.
He doesn't.
The resist is extremely relevant here. That's going to be 3 willpower.
It won't be enough to take out. You can only take out the hook. It wouldn't even be enough to take out the hero with all 3. That resist is huge. Yep.
And take the hook out here.
And he's gonna bounce it and then use the fox to take out the hero. So he's at 3. And he's gonna Medusa or Tremaine after that, it looks like. So there's that fox. That's gonna give him enough to take out the one shot on hero, which is good. And now he's going to have to play Medusa. Medusa's going to allow him to take out Beast. So he won't allow any more card draw. And it's going to limit him down to 2, 4, 6 on the next turn. So it's no longer lethal unless he draws. Unless he, I mean, if he has a Gaston in his hand. Well, no, it's still technically lethal. If he doesn't take out one more card after the Beast. He has to take out the Beast and take out another card. So there's the Tremaine. So, yeah, Smee for sure. And that's one of those situations where you want Medusa.
Yes. The opponent picking is actively what makes Tremaine the weaker choice.
100%. 100%. You know, after a be prepared, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I think we're going to see a draw here, my friends. But,
I don't know. I mean, what else can he do? I mean, 2, 4. No, because it's still he doesn't have it. I think Mark has it.
Does he have the?
He'd have to top deck Bell or possibly a Gaston. I really think he has to top deck a Bell. I really think Bell, you're right, is the only one. Because I mean, I don't think he has it.
I'm racking my brain. I think you actually are right. Yeah.
So now he's got.
So Mark's gonna maybe pull this out here.
Wow!
Wow! Whole new world.
So wait, he has it?
Well, he drew whole new world.
Oh,
do you sing whole new world and pray?
Yeah. Oh, for sure you do. Yeah. Is he hard cast? He's hard casting it. Okay. Come on, he's slow doing it. Come on, Bell. Tomato is helpful, but not Bell. Oh no. Oh, that's rough.
Okay, can one lucky dime count for multiple items? It's lucky.
There's the Gaston. That's not bad. Tamatoa, you don't have enough items. Gaston's better than the Tamatoa. You have more ink.
I think.
Oh my
Mark
gosh.
might have squeaked this one out. The Lady Tremaine, I forgot she quests for 2.
Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. CJ really trying to figure out if there's any out. Man, what a well played
What a
game.
crazy up and down game. I mean,
Gaston.
I have to give credit to all the players so far today. Like, the games have been just a roller coaster.
It's going to tap the dime for 2 for Gaston.
Benja, no help.
Popsicle, what do you open for a Popsicle? Bell? But you don't have enough ink anymore.
Attack Crab with Beast? Attack Queen with Beast?
What?
I'm not sure what's happening.
Redirecting, it looks like.
Oh, yep.
All right. So he just took out 2.
So, yeah.
So now he's dependent. So he took away lethal. Still 16. He's depending on a goat now.
Mark does not play Spellbook, correct?
Let's see. I don't believe so. No. So 1 for a popsicle. Put that out. He's gonna
He
get.
could.
Wait.
He didn't do it.
Oh.
Almost let go of the card, so never mind.
Interesting. I would have popsicled and got rid of damage. So
Now,
both are at the point where Mark has to take out. He has to take out like a Gaston and something else. 7 be prepared.
No, he has Fox to attack with. He could, like, if he has a Tremaine in hand, he could
Oh, he's gotta be
quest. He has be prepared.
I think so. He just kind of stepping out. He
Ooh.
quested, so I'm assuming that means be prepared. 1, yep, 5, 6, 7.
I was gonna say he could shift.
Yeah,
But
be
yep,
prepared.
there we go.
Oh my God, this match is nuts!
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Mark's now at 19 lore. He's 1 lore away, and he has the go.
Ah!
He has the go.
Wow!
That's game.
That was rude. He didn't need to do that. He didn't have to be prepared. He could have just done the other thing. That was so rude.
That's so funny.
Who won?
Wow.
Mark
Mark pulls
pulled-
it out with a really crazy little thing at the end where he's like, "Hey man, I had a couple options
Yeah.
here. I just want to let you know, but you did so good."
I
That
love
was
that
wow.
Wiping the field clean before the goat is allowed to just stand there in victory.
Crazy.
Wow, I really thought that was going to be a draw for Mark.
Because he could have played the goat and then got an extra lore. He could have ended